Hey guys, welcome to That Florida Feeling. I hope everybody's having a good week. I hope that you are staying well hydrated and not sunburned yet, as that can happen. We are in the warm season now. Looking forward to the rainy season, as a lot of us are still under burn bans. Yeah, can get kind of scary some days. But anyways, thank you for interacting with the podcast. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the shares, likes, comments. It just kind of gets more eyes on the podcast. So thank you guys as always. If you have a second, check out Unfiltered Studios. Great people doing great things. It's the network I'm a part of, and they are just there are some people that I listen to their podcast and I'm like, man, I hope mine's that good. Maybe. But today we are going to talk about one of the best attractions in St. Augustine. At least that's how I feel. And also pretty sure that's how TripAdvisor and Google Maps feel. But anyways, to me, this is one of the best attractions in St. Augustine. I'm not talking about the lighthouse or the beach or the fort. I'm actually talking about St. Augustine Alligator Farm Zoological Park. The park is actually one of the oldest and continuous running attractions in Florida. It actually opened on May 20th, 1893 as a roadside attraction, and it's become so much more. The park began, words guys, words are killing me today. The park began in 1893 on St. Augustine Beach, so not far from where it sits today. And it was a minor attraction. It was at the end of a railway running through a neighboring Anastasia Island. The alligators were added at first to get visitors to buy souvenirs and to see the little museum there. But soon the reptiles became the main point of interest. And I swear this is true. Every time I talk to people in Florida, inevitably I eventually get asked, well, do you see gators? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But we always know they're there. And we also know that we are not going to go near any body of water that looks like sweet tea because we are not throwing hands with a dinosaur. But inevitably, people are always obsessed with seeing gators. So it worked for this attraction. And of course, eventually it grew in popularity, and the park actually moved to its current location in 1920. So it's been there almost 100 years. The park did change owners in the 1930s, and after a devastating fire, they reconstructed and expanded the facilities. In 1993, for their 100th year anniversary of the park, it became the first place in the world to display every species of crocodilian. In 2008, the park opened a new Komodo dragon facility that also exhibits lizards and snakes of Southeast Asia. Now, on September 10th, 1992, the Alligator Farm was designated as a U.S. Historic District. And it's also referred to as such. It was referred to as the St. Augustine Alligator Farm Historic District. So the whole area around the farm is the historic district that involves the zoo. And according to the National Register of Historic Places, it actually covers less than 1 acre. It contains one building and one structure. But it feels like so much bigger when you go. Now, historically, the Alligator Farm was one of the first institutions where you can see every species of alligator, crocodile, caiman, and I cannot say these. Grail? Gharil. Y'all say it. And over the years, the zoo has expanded their collection to include mammals, birds, and other reptiles. They actually have a really cool exhibits. My favorite one I'll talk about in a second. The farm is also home to Chance the Snapper, which is an American alligator. Now, the back section of the park actually contains a large bird rookery. And that's where free-roaming local bird species as egrets, herons, wood storks, Rosetta spoonbills, and other species get to nest and raise their young. And this is just like a big open bird area. The park is a member of the Association of Zoos and Aquariums and the Florida Attraction Association. Now, the park is really cool. It's got some amazing exhibits that kind of really show off Florida's own dinosaur, as well as exhibits that support other animals. They even have a sloth. Yes, a sloth. That's my favorite part. One thing the zoo is known for also is that they do grant the ability to zip line over the zoo. And yes, that includes the gators. I mean, I know they're inspected for safety, but I just can't. I'm not going to take that chance. And I see people doing it all the time, and they look like they're having so much fun. But, like, when it comes to the part about the gators, I'm going to just keep my feet on the ground, y'all. Now, the zoo is very much educational as it is fun. They have daily wildlife shows that are fully interactive for kids, and it allows them to really learn about the animals and even do hands-on. They have shows that talk about the alligators, which include feedings, animal trainings, and demonstrations. But they also allow time for you to ask questions and actually talk about the animals. So if you have a random question about alligator eyelids, I'm sure that they can answer it for you. They have a really cool scales and tails reptile show. If you want to see different kinds of snakes and other reptiles, sometimes they even give you the chance to hold the snake. Again, that's for y'all. I've had my fair share of snakes, especially in Florida. They do have a rainforest review, which is a great show that really highlights a lot of the rainforest animals and parrots. Which, by the way, I'm going to tell y'all, parrots can be mean. I just have to say that. Parrots can be mean. They do have daily alligator feedings that really show kind of how quick and powerful those dinosaurs can be. Because you get to see how fast they swim through the water and then how high they can jump. That'll make you never want to go near a body of water again, but it's really cool to see. The park is also really big on conservation and research, and this is something that they've really put into their like what they want to be known for, what they want to do, how they want to continue certain species. And they have a species survival plan, and that was a program that began in 1981 as a cooperative population management and conservation program for the selected species in zoos in North America. So basically, the zoos and aquariums can kind of choose animals that could be critically endangered, just endangered, or on the brink of extinction, and they can kind of get together and kind of help try to drive these populations up by either breeding programs or conservations or other things. Now, the selective species species survival plan. I was looking at one of the other zoos, and they call it the selective species, and I was always like, that doesn't sound right. I didn't like that. So I have it in another episode, y'all are here, sorry. But I think that the species survival plan just somehow sounds better. Sorry, side note. The plan only manages captive bred populations in accredited zoos and aquariums. Each plan manages the breeding of species in order to maintain a healthy and self-sustaining population that both genetically diverse and demographically stable. And if you really want to know if you want a good idea about this, that's why there's a Florida panther breeding program. Because unfortunately there's only so many panthers left in the wild, and a lot of them are inbred because there's no genetic diversity. So plans like this that the alligator farm are part of kind of help genetically diverse and kind of stop the inbreeding so that it stops the survival of you want the survival of the fittest to win. You want the species to be able to continue itself. And so in this plan, using animals from different zoos or aquariums kind of brings that in and helps the population get stronger. This species survival plan really outlines the wildlife research that's conducted at the Alligator Farm Zoological Park. Hey guys, I just want to take a second to tell you about Maine Love Water. It's rooted in Maine, it's made with care, and it's designed to refresh body and mind. Stay hydrated, stay present, and enjoy Maine Love Water. Now, the park works with other zoos and organizations to really ensure that the survival really continues on. And exotic species in even the most remote corners of the world actually suffer from the same things that we deal with in Florida, like habitat loss, overexploitation, environmental pollution, or of course humans. And so the conservation efforts are really important, and that's why the zoo is happy to be part of it. They actually contribute to the breeding program of animals such as the American brown tortoise, the Chinese alligator, the Komodo dragon, Galapagos tortoise, and then of course some mammals, not just all reptiles. They do the cotton-top tamarin, different species of lemurs, the Hoffman two-toed sloth, so cute, and the Prevost squirrel. There's actually a lot more. Those are just a few that I named. They also contribute to saving aviary species such as the blue-throated macaw, the Vietnam pheasant, the hooded vulture, and the sunbittern. So these are all animals that they have really committed to taking care of and also forwarding on to the breeding program. Now, the farm is a huge part of conservation for a large number of animals, and they really do more than just give you the ability to look at an alligator. They have some amazing exhibits that feature these animals, but also teach about them as they are critically endangered and how you can help or how you can stop, the really just environmental pollution is probably the biggest one. And then like deforestation. The zoos also have seasonal exhibits. Right now it's rookery season. So if you want to come and see amazing birds, definitely go check that out at the zoo. And then they also do stuff which is really cool for kids. They have week camps for kids in the summer with different focuses on different things and for different ages. And of course, I mentioned earlier the zip line. You can zip line through trees and conquer aerial obstacles. They have 2 different zip lines. One will take you a little bit longer, and there's a couple more obstacles. Still not gonna do it. But the zip lines, they go through 2 challenging courses. You'll get to see live alligators and crocodiles literally right under your toes. You'll get to see tropical birds at eye level, and you can go right past the lemurs. Sounds fun, right? You do get to do more than 50 different obstacles, so you're climbing, flying, and of course, zip lining through the zoo. Yeah, I just can't. Like, it's not that I don't know. Like, it's just the whole thing about I don't want to be flying on top of an alligator and something happen. I just don't. The zoo is typically open from 9 to 5. You can purchase 1 or 2 day passes, or you can become a member. You can also purchase animal encounters where you can see them, feed gators up close, or a little bit smaller group of people. Or you can even get up close to a sloth. Yes, I want to do that one day. The sloth is so cute. Now, the zoo is a place that really has evolved from a simple roadside attraction to one of the top things to do in St. Augustine to also one of the helpful breeding programs to help keep animals on this planet. Now, I really do like this place. I've never had a bad experience. It's always been clean. The staff is super nice. The animals look well taken care of. I also like the fact that they do support breeding and conservation. I like the fact that you don't feed baby alligators with poles and paper clips like some other exhibits in Florida. Gatorland in Orlando. You should be ashamed. I did an actual episode on Gatorland about why you shouldn't go, so if you want to check that out, go ahead. This one I recommend. This one is not, it's not so much a tourist attraction as it is almost like an educational fun moment. The farm is a great place to learn about animals. You can see some great exhibits. They have the really cool shows. You'll probably also encounter Florida man. They're kind of everywhere, unfortunately. But this zoo is actually home to an interesting Florida man encounter. They kind of got their own headline back in 2018. Florida man jumps into crocodile exhibit in St. Augustine, was found wearing boxers. I'm surprised he was found. I really am. The man jumped into the exhibit at night while wearing clothes and Crocs. Keep it real, Florida man, with those Crocs. They later found his clothing still in the exhibit. The 23-year-old man was found and taken into custody the next morning. He was in boxers and claiming he got bit by an alligator. I bet you he did. I'm surprised he survived. They had surveillance video of the actual incident, which shows him climbing into the enclosure, knocking down a statue, and getting into the crocodile pool where there were 3 crocodiles. And he only got bit. Dang, dude. Don't do drugs. Just don't. They don't do it. Like, especially, like, just don't, guys. I hope you enjoyed learning about a really cool roadside attraction in the oldest city in Florida and one of the oldest attractions as well. If you guys have a topic that you want to hear, just shoot me an email, thatfloridafeel@gmail.com. You can message me on any of the social media sites. I would love to talk to you guys. If you just want to say hi, I like that. I like just saying hi. I like making new friends. But guys, seriously, it is hot outside, so drink your water. Wear your sunscreen. You don't want bad things later. Be nice to one another. There's always a lot going on, and don't add to somebody else's misery. And that's your Daily Dose of Sunshine.
This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.